Everybody, we are back. It is Taped on Live's favorite podcast, favorite channel, favorite everything. We are back. You guys already know what to do. Hit the subscribe button, subscribe. Hit the like button if you like it. Hit the dislike button if you don't like it. Leave a comment if you like it. Leave a comment if you don't like it. Also follow us on Twitter at the Mark John NFL for me, at mholder95 for Matt, and of course pandasubs.com. Discount code TDL for 25% off. I forgot to put the subscribe up here. Subscribe. All right. So today we're doing Cam Miller and Tonka Hemingway. So we can look into quarterback. I know a lot of people are interested in seeing what Cam Miller looks like because, we're hungry for a young guy. Come in there and make some plays. And then, of course, look at Tonka Hemingway, who was the last pick of the 4th round for the Raiders. So deep diving into both those guys. But, of course, the breaking news here is Derek Carr has retired. This could be the big talk. There's some people celebrate it. And there's some people are just acting like that he once a Raider always Raider. You know what I mean? Like he was still there 9 years. I mean, it wasn't like he was. It was probably the longest quarterback I've seen of my life. So since I was born, if I think about it.
Yeah. Who would have been longer? I'd say Gannon was the best, but he was only around for 4 years, right? Because he was 35. He's old when he
maybe 5.
35. Yeah, maybe 5, maybe in 4 good ones. You know what I mean? His last couple of years, he was getting beat up, and he looked like a mid-30s quarterback.
Yeah.
Body was breaking down, but yeah, it's funny to me. We were talking about it a little bit before the show. The Raiders are, how long has it been? 3 years since they moved on from Derek Carr. It's just funny to me, the people's reaction, the hate against Derek Carr, because it is I'm not gonna sit here and be he was an all pro. And I saw a video clip of Colin Cowherd back in the day saying he was going to be a Hall of Famer, which obviously is not going to happen. But with Derek, it is so much there's water on the bridge. They've been so far removed. I don't get the hate on him at this stage, and I find myself becoming a Carr defender, where it's look, I know he wasn't great, but it's let's be honest. Since they moved on, he's the best quarterback that they had. They've moved on, and they have not found a better quarterback since then. Mm-mm. And the guy wanted, for all his faults, the guy wanted to win, wanted to do it with the Raiders.
Yeah,
it just unfortunately never worked out. Part of that was on him. Part of that too was they never could get a decent defense. The best defense they had was 2016, and that unit was they had some good players and good pass rushers, but had plenty of flaws that wasn't perfect either. It was every game, it felt like it had to be a 30-point showing. They just were able to get turnovers.
Yeah,
but. I will say, and then on top of that too, you see all the beat writers talking about it. Derek was always pretty much a class act, and always treated people the right way and everything like that. Definitely a good dude off the field too, that I think you can kind of get behind. So props to him. Hell of a career. Weird how it kind of ended here with his injury, but again, like I said, probably the longest tenured quarterback in our lifetime, and probably the second best that I can remember. And I don't know. I was born in 93, so
yeah.
I feel in the 90s was when was a tough time for the Raiders. I don't know.
Unless you like Jeff Hostetler.
That's right. Hostetler. He was a little before my time, but Gannon's still the best to me. But where's up there? Retired. He's left as the franchise passing leader, and there's no clear guy who's going to pass him at this stage. It's not going to be Geno Smith.
No,
he's going to be that way for a while.
Yeah, until they draft another guy. To be honest, he's because they drafted him and then he did all that stuff. And to be fair to Derek, and people love calling me a Carr stan anyway. So to be fair to Derek, I think that he still was here 9 years, right? And then they made the playoffs twice. Which means I don't care what part of a Raiders fan you are. That year in 2016, them actually being really good was still dope. You know what I mean? It's probably the best year that they've had, and he was a part of that. And then they made the playoffs again too in 2021 when they won 4 games in a row, and he was playing lights out in some of those games, especially the Colts game and stuff like that. Yeah, I remember stuff like that, like the Colts game. That was big time. He played big time in that game. They needed that win, right? That's probably his. To be honest, this probably his best game of his career, in my opinion, as a Raider, because they weren't supposed to win that game. Everybody thought they weren't going to make the playoffs anymore. That interim head coach, and that was he. Yeah. game I've seen him play. So I mean, you can go back to that film.
That stuff. No.
I mean, like the throw he made. I mean, his line sucked. He's getting destroyed in that game. You know what I mean? So
Hunter Renfrow was the number one receiver for the second half of the year. Hunter Renfrow, and like 2 years out later was struggling to get work. I mean,
he's throwing to Zay Jones and shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like, it was that thought processes of it. I mean, yeah. I mean, was he the greatest quarterback in the world? No, he wasn't the greatest quarterback in the world, and nobody's going to say that. But you know, we gotta hope that you know, Geno Smith is can become consistent like him, and like if the team infrastructure, the structure of the team is better, then it'll help out. I mean, it wasn't his fault that what happened to Henry Ruggs and John Gruden, and you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Some of those things we don't know how this would have finished out. You know what I mean? It kind of just blew up from there, and then it hasn't been the same since then. So hopefully Pete Carroll changes that up. But yeah, he had a messed up shoulder. He is what he is. Derek Carr is Derek Carr. It's not really
I mean, you touched on it too. I mean, the 2016 year that ended like a 15-year playoff drought or whatever it was. 14 years, something like that. So it's the best team that they've had in the last 20-something years.
Yeah, exactly.
And he was a big part of it too. Like, I mean, again, if he doesn't break his leg, I think they beat the Texans in Houston.
Yeah, that year. Or they get home field altogether.
Yeah.
They had a chance to get home field. Did they? Or the Patriots?
Well, they did, but they lost that Chiefs game on Thursday night. That kind of sealed their fate into the wild card because the Chiefs, I want to say the Chiefs ran the table after that because that was like a late December game or like a December game, and then
no, what happened was the Chiefs lost that week and Derek Carr broke his leg, so that's what made it worse. Yeah, they would have got. They forgot
that part. Yeah,
they go to Denver. They get home field.
That's right. Yeah. Fun fact: I was at that Denver game the following week. Like I already had plans. Like my buddies, their family has Broncos season tickets, and I was hoping to like go there. Like, we got a chance to win the division, got everything locked up, and then Christmas.
I was at the game too, Matt. That's funny. I was at that game too.
In Denver?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Yeah. That game sucked.
It was cold as fuck.
Yeah, it was cold. They got down like 24-0 early and didn't score till late.
Oh yeah, Connor Cook came in and he played. And I was like, I was like, oh, maybe Connor Cook could do it.
Nope.
All right, so now this year, let's get to 2025 here. We're talking Cam Miller and Tonka Hemingway. Matt, I know you watched Tonka Hemingway just for the draft through Bleacher Report. So, what are your thoughts on Tonka Hemingway?
It's funny when I've watched Tonka Hemingway, every single time I have the same reaction where like I watch his first game, I'm like, shit, man, did I miss something? Like, did I miss on this guy? Like, because he'll have like he'll just show up like where like he'll be super athletic, he's got some power in his hands, and I'm like, this guy's got some legit potential. Like, I might want to go back and like edit my like old scouting report, and then I watch like more games. I'm like, oh no, this is what I remember. where I'm kind of going with that is like he'll have these games, he'll have these moments where like you'll see like some real potential where like again you'll see a dude who's pretty athletic, got some good pop in his hands, and has some upper body strength that you can work with. But then he'll have like games where he just kind of disappears and just kind of blends in and doesn't really stand out. And I think that's part of the reason why I was like lower on him. And like when they drafted him, I thought he was a little bit of a reach just because I don't think the game to game and the down to down consistency is quite there for him. But on the other end of that is the flashes of brilliance. Like he does have a lot of potential and he does have some traits to work with. Like we'll see this, like I've got, looks like about 8 clips of him as a pass rusher that we're going to watch. And like, again, he can definitely get some pressure on the interior as like a 3 technique and kind of come off the bench in that role. And I think he can grow as a run defender on that too. And he can win as a pass rusher in a couple different ways. Again, using some finesse. And then on top of that, he has like a few reps where like, you're right, there's a little bit of power there. Like you can use him on stunts and just like the pick player and stuff like that. So I think he's a guy kind of like what we've seen with a lot of these mid to late round picks where there's potential, but it's not there yet. And I'd like to see him be more consistent, but definitely has some position versatility too. Kind of that tweener body type between a D tackle and defensive end. But he has the athleticism, I think, to hold up on the edge a little bit too. So interesting player. I just, we'll see how he ends up developing. I don't think he's going to be a guy that's going to contribute right away this season.
Yeah, it just when I was watching him on film, it just reminded me too much of Matthew Butler. I feel like I was watching Matthew Butler coming
I can
down.
see that a little bit.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, we already drafted this guy. Is this gonna work? Maybe it will. Maybe he's a little different and he can, you know, do
Yeah.
something different than Matthew Butler. But that's what I felt like when I was watching him. So yeah, it's just because he was getting pushed back way too much in the run game. But he has some serious flashes as a pass rusher. So you're right.
Yeah.
So it's there.
I think he's twitchier than Butler was,
Mm,
like a little bit. So I think that gives you a little bit more hope with him. And I think he's a better athlete because he tested really well at the combine. That
yeah.
was part of the reason why I think he probably got a little bit of a boost. Like he had like I want to say like a 9.5, maybe 9.4 RAS, something like
Mm,
that. Granted, as a defensive tackle, so
yeah.
put him at end, that number's going to come down a little bit. But like his numbers are pretty good, and like again, you can see that on film. Like you can see the quickness, you can see the speed off the ball and stuff like that on tape.
All right. So I did Cam Miller. So Cam Miller is the quarterback from North Dakota State, 6th-round pick. What I really like about Cam Miller is he's just so poised in the pocket, man. He's just poised in the pocket. He has great mechanics. He's upright. He's always at his feet. His feet are very quiet. He does a lot. He goes through his reads. He reads the field really well. He'll go from one side to the other and like stay on time and until like still anticipate on the other side of the field with the routes coming. He processes everything really quickly. It's just the arm, man. He's accurate, like you said. He's accurate. It's like everything's great until he has to throw it downfield, right? I was watching him. I was feel like Kyle Shanahan could probably win with this guy. I feel like Kyle Shanahan can make it work. I feel like he would, right? He'd find a way because he does throw a pretty good dig route and things like that. It's just the arm strength just isn't enough for him to become like dominant. Like I was trying to find film of him like throwing the ball downfield, and it was just all just basically playing 2-point basketball out there. It's just kind of just
got the mid-range game,
mid-range game going right. No, there's no three.
early 2000s. A little DeMar DeRozan, just
yeah, you know what I mean.
Top the key.
But the thing is, like, if you could build a system around him, though, like I feel like there's something you could do, like as a backup, like you can keep it short and keep him on time and things like that. And like I said, he has great pocket presence. I think he has a great feel in the pocket, understands the pressure's coming, knows when to move, knows when to get out of the pocket, knows when to run. He just has a great feel at the quarterback position. I just feel bad for him, man, because he had a big arm, man. He'd probably go like number 1. I feel bad for him.
Damn. Yeah, it's funny. I was laughing a little bit when you're talking about it because I know the story of like Brady told them like, oh yeah, draft this guy. I really like him, and like everything you said, I'm like, this is like a Tom Brady quarterback. Like good feet in the pocket, works through his reads, like
It looks great,
mechanically sound, doesn't have a big arm.
Great.
I'm like accurate. I'm like it's kind of like it's very similar to like a Shedeur Sanders, obviously on a different scale, but like it just when you're talking through that, I'm like, oh okay, yeah, this is why Brady liked this guy so much because. And in certain ways, he reminded him of him coming out of Michigan. So,
yeah.
And correct me if I'm wrong, too. Like Miller's got some. He can use his legs a little bit.
Yeah.
Too,
Oh,
right?
yeah. I didn't even mention that. Like, that's a big part of his game too. Like, he can run for 50-yard touchdowns and stuff like that. I mean, I would say probably it's like a 4.7. I would say like that type of speed. But it's enough where he can scramble and he can run for touchdowns. He can keep the football in the zone read. They did a lot of quarterback draws with him. And he would make some really good plays, some nice runs. So there's something to work with. It's just it's gonna be hard to get past that arm strength. It's tough because he can't he really can't like literally push the ball downfield. Like it's tough for him to do it.
And he's not the biggest dude in the world, right? He's
no,
he's kind of a smaller guy.
Yeah, he's like 6'1", I believe. So he's a little bit of a smaller guy. But I'm gonna show one of this out route throw. It's like a 20-yard out. And he just puts his all into it.
And it's Dylan Gabriel.
he just and it's still floating. It was a floater. So it kind of just shows, it's just not there for him to be like a full-time NFL starter with that type of arm strength. That's what. I could be wrong. Maybe he can make it work, and maybe he can, get his arm stronger. I mean, there's ways you can do that. I mean, Joe Burrow's done it. Tom Brady did it. So, Tom Brady didn't have a strong arm, and then like by 2014, he's throwing these lasers at you. So it's you gotta. Maybe he could do something with that, and maybe he could work on that. But I think mechanically he probably could if he got to the right coach that could help him. Get use his hips more and get more into the throw. Just because he's so good mechanically, he's just clean there. Like you don't have to
Yeah.
worry. You're not worrying about like a dancer or his feet too close. They never touch. It's just he's clean, but it's just yeah, man. If you can't throw the ball in the field in the NFL, I mean, you're gonna be limited.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I mean, the legs too. Like I think that's kind of where I've kind of viewed Cam Miller just from afar. I haven't really dove into the tape that much, but like the legs, like that can give him a chance to maybe be a good backup in Chip Kelly's offense because we know how much mobile quarterbacks are a thing for him. I don't think he's beaten out Aiden O'Connell this year, but in a year or two from now, when O'Connell might be either getting traded or playing elsewhere because his contract's coming up, maybe Miller can step up and take that role on.
Yeah, for sure. Let's just get into Cam Miller first. Let's do some Miller. All right, so start off with some Cam Miller here. And we just start off with a little slant route. And this I'm talking about how you can, if Kyle Shanahan had him, Kyle Shanahan would love him because it's just quick right there. Look at switch his feet around quickly, get his feet pointed to the target. Boom, right there. Nice little throw. And this is the type of consistent things he does on film. It's just consistent. Just catch, throw, boom. Good timing here.
Those feet. Yeah, that's the first thing that stood out to me.
Yeah.
Perfect. That and the FCS camera angle we got.
Don't get me started, man. This is the best one because the championship game. This is the best FCS movie you're gonna get. All right, here's another one here. Another little quick slant, like I said. Get his feet set right there. Just nice little throw right on time.
Yeah,
good job being accurate right there. Yeah, kind of the same thing. But this is the type of game you could work with him though. Like you put him out there. He could run that. I mean, and they're running the West Coast offense in North Dakota. So it's not going to be hard for him to kind of get it down. All right. So here's another throw here. See, this is what I really like, this one here. So this one, he's getting a little kind of basically you got two outs out here. He maybe could have went here. You can make the case, right? But I like how you just read it. Okay. That linebacker's right there. So I'm not going to get a lot of yards. I got time here. So let me come back to this other side. Right. He gets his feet set right there. And I mean, and it's good timing on this throw, right? Still the time with the timing of the route too, which I really like. Because even if it's not the greatest anticipation in the world, I mean, he's coming backside, right? I mean, he's reading one side, and does a good job of coming backside, find that dig. Okay, it looks like they were playing some invert two or something like that. Bailing, no, it's just cover three.
But, yeah, cover three, I think.
So kind of look at the mechanics from the backside on this one. Kind of see his eyes. And then, you see him come right here to the middle. It's not there. And come right there. Boom. Nice accurate throw. You can see the arm streak though.
Yeah, I was gonna say that floated.
Just a little bit, just a little bit of floater. All right, so this one is gonna be hitting a dig route here. I really like this throw. Right, so it's another time where he's gonna start a front side. Right, so he starts to this side right here, and he's gonna come back to the strong side here. Boom, and just hit right in between this cover two, right between these safeties here, and the safety and the linebacker. It's a nice little.
I like that. I like this read because he knows that seam route from the slot or the tight end is going to hold that linebacker, so he knows exactly where the window is. I like this read. That's a good fit. Yeah. Good decision.
Yeah, and even a good throw. I think he's protecting the
back shoulder, back hip.
So that's what I'm saying. I mean, there is things to work with him.
Yeah.
It's just the arm strength is just not there though. So you can really like it. So you see how he does that. Boom, gets right there. It's quick too. It's not like he doesn't know what he's doing. Like it's quick. Boom, not there. Boom, there. Boom. Throw a nice ball.
As soon as he sees that linebacker in the middle of the field, he knows where to go.
All right, so here's a little play action here, which you don't see a lot of guys in college do these NFL type play actions. Get play action right there. Come. And then he's going right to this dig route right here. He's this tight end, which I think he threw a back shoulder again on this one.
Yeah.
But I mean, it might be just an inaccurate pass. I don't know. But it looks like he threw a back shoulder just because. I mean, this guy's running into. I mean, you got Sanders going to be crashing right there. I mean, it's a good throw right there. Boom. Yeah. So some good. I mean, he could play a little West Coast offense, man. If you guys could, if somebody went down or something like that, I mean, I think in the preseason, I think he's probably got. He seems like the type of guy to me that have a pretty damn good preseason, just because
Yeah.
he knows what he's doing out there, and he reads the
Yeah.
field so quickly. I just like
Take
the
advantage.
way. Go ahead, Matt. What you say?
I was just gonna say you can take advantage of vanilla coverages.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Especially, you watch Montana State. I mean, that's what they basically did, anyways. All right. so here's another one. Kind of the slant here. Like you could say, you could run the RPOs with him. This is a RPO here, right? And what I like about this one is, he sees this linebacker crash or the safety crash, actually, right? On a little
Yeah.
kind of a, I don't know, they're blitzing or something like that. So he pulls the ball and goes right to this slant right here. Now, I don't know if this guy knocks the ball out. I think maybe he did. Yeah, he knocked the ball out. But it's still a good read and a good throw. But like basically, I mean, why the guy's able to knock the ball is a little bit because of the arm strength. The ball floated there a little bit. He's able to catch up.
Part of me wonders if that route was too deep too, because that's a
Yeah.
that's a deep slant against off coverage.
That is. You're right. You're right about that. But you just see the mechanics, right? It's perfect. He reads it. He's reading this linebacker right here. Boom, gets his feet set right there. A little bit of a high throw, but
yeah.
not bad though. All right. So here's another one, just kind of showing the arm. Just a little bit of the lack of arm strength. I mean, he completes his pass, right? So like I said, you get the play action. These guys are crashing. Quick read, right? I mean, it might be a little bit of RPO too, in my opinion, because you got the guy pulling, right? Just reading it. This guy drops down again, and he has this guy wide open here, right? And you're just thinking, okay, if he just zips that in there, he gets a touchdown. And he kind of just like floats it a little bit.
Yeah.
And I don't know if he's like trying to get over this linebacker, like,
Maybe. I like the read because he, like you said, like he throws it where the safety was. Like he knows exactly where to go, but I'd like to see a little bit more oomph on that throw for a technical term.
Yes. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. It's a good read though, man. It's a good read though. All right. So he's gonna be throwing out route on this one. This is the one I was talking about. So you're getting pure play action on this one. And you get the out route. Let's open it up here. I think he's a little late, but you kind of just see like he tried to put all his all into this throw.
Hey, goes far hash to the far sideline.
Yeah. But even here, show for the backside here, you just see the mechanics. That's what I like the most about him, man. He is mechanically sound. So that's why I think maybe he could add some arm strength a little bit because that's something he could work on, right? Just good feet right there, boom. But you can kind of see,
that was like he lollipop that ball.
You had to put some air at this point, bro.
Yeah.
You got it there.
Yeah, there we go. It works.
You made it happen. All right, and I show this play. I mean, this is kind of him just making plays, but you kind of see it again. Okay, so he starts working to his left, right? It's not there. Everything's covered, right? Kind of the same concept you said before. You could say he just makes this easy throw to the running back, but then maybe that guy kind of maybe stops it. But he decides to roll out here, and he has this guy coming back to the pylon, and he just kind of, nice little throw there.
Nice.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's kind of just a feel in the pocket he has. He knows he had time. Kind of just time to make a play. even get not a lot of push. Even I think North Dakota State cheats because I think they just draft big ass linemen. It doesn't matter who else is on this team. Just big ass linemen like Zabel and
Yeah, Cody Mock. I swear they just they recruit the hell out of like Minnesota and like all those schools up there and just find these big ass dudes, big ass country white boys.
Because I'm not gonna be honest, man. He wasn't getting touched even against Colorado. So here is just kind of throw this kind of storm with a little bit of the arm strength issues here because you're getting this seam round. He's trying to hit this seam, right? And he just can't get it there, and this ball almost gets picked. All right, I mean that's an NFL type throw you got to make, right?
Yeah,
so I'll kind of get that ball in there.
Part of me wonders if he thought the receiver was going to curl it up, because I can kind of see that in that zone, like sitting it right there.
Yeah.
But that throw, that's a pick.
Yeah.
Speaking of Derek Carr, I see a guy like Jesse Bates jumping that and housing it. Sorry, Derek. Don't mean to throw shade on you. We talked good about you in the beginning of the episode.
Yeah, exactly. Jesse Bates loves to pick off Derek Carr. It's like his favorite thing to do. All right. So getting to his running ability here. So let's talk about his pocket presence, right? So you get him dropping back. You got a free rusher coming. Boom. You kind of just kind of slides, avoids it here, and was about to reset his feet and maybe make this throw here. You kind of see him do it, but he just he's like, no, I just run it for a touchdown.
Oh yeah, I remember that. I remember watching that live.
So you get a free runner. Zabel's destroying somebody, so that would be the smartest way to dominate FCS is just have a great offensive line because
that's probably part of the reason why North Dakota State had a run of like 5 natties in a row.
Yeah. So here he is on the zone read. So, like I said, with the RPOs, you could tell that he's great at reading this anyways. I mean, as soon as this guy crashes right here, he has it outside. You can see outside. It's a great block by the wide receiver too. Scores just down there.
I think that's Trey Lance's brother, isn't it? 5.
Yeah. All right, and then this one was funny. I should show this from the sideline view because they have them spread out, right? And they're doing a quarterback draw, there's really. I mean, if you just look at this, split.
They're just begging them
for the quarterback draw, okay? And you see where these safeties go after the snap. Watch it; they're all the way out there, right? And he's just doing a quarterback draw, just boop. There's no. It's like the greatest play call.
Parting of the Red Seas, man! Wow. Now I see why he ran for like 200 yards in this game. It's like 60 on one. 65.
I mean, just spread them out, and then with the type of coverage they're playing, I guess I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I get it; it's empty, but maybe we put somebody in the middle of the field.
One person, maybe. All right, so here's the quarterback draw here. This one against Colorado. So what I like about this one is, I mean, this one is not as it's not the last one, and you see here he's still able to kind of squeeze through there, get skinny through that block right there, and then he's got Shiloh Sanders.
Oh, Shiloh.
Yeah.
Oh, he made it. There we go.
He made his tackle. Yeah, all right. See, he didn't have any faith in Shiloh there.
My fault. I was going off previous history.
Yeah. I get it, man. I get it. But yeah, that's Cam Miller. Like I said, I mean, there's some good film. It's just there's just a huge limitation with him. That's really what it is. I mean, he has a huge limitation to his game. That's why he reminds me of Nick Mullins a lot, and that's why I said Nick Mullins, had some decent games with some West Coast offense type of guys, right? And then eventually he's trying to throw it downfield, and then it turns into 3 interceptions. So that's the type of thing you might see with Cam Miller, because when he has to start throwing that down the field, because you have to in the NFL. It's if you don't have big plays in the NFL, you're not gonna score a lot of points. So yeah, and that's kind of the limitation that he has, and why it feels like that he could probably be he's gonna be a backup in the NFL. But to be honest, I mean, he could be like a Nick Mullins. There's a good backup, right?
Yeah.
Come in and win you a couple games, and have some decent yardage, and get the ball to the playmakers, right? I mean, he's like I said, he's limited, but there's something to work with.
Yeah. Yeah. Who knows? Maybe since Brady likes him, he can get with the Alex Guerrero and get on the TB12 diet and get that arm strength up. You never know.
Yeah. Maybe, man, maybe. I'm sure Guerrero's just around. He's around the facility. He probably has he's probably set up like down the street or something in an apartment complex or something.
Exactly.
Yeah, he's
just telling him no tomatoes, whey protein only.
Yeah, for sure. All right, let's get to Tonka Hemingway, bro.
All right, so I'm gonna start with a few reps or a handful of reps of Hemingway as a pass rusher here. The first few, we'll see like good examples of his quickness and what he can do. Like we'll see on this one. What I like about this is he sets it up well. Like you're gonna see him like start to stem up the field with his first couple steps, and then he can use a little club move to kind of win with his quickness on the inside and get that guard to overset a little bit right here. Again, opens up that inside pass rush lane. Ends up getting quarterback hit, which combined with I think is that 6 or is that Kennard? Yeah, Kennard over on the edge. Hit Dart and force a slight underthrow, giving that quarterback a chance to go get that PBU. See a similar rep on this one, just lined up at nose tackle, and this time working outside. But same type of thing, like you can see him kind of set this move up where going to work up the field, and then as soon as like he gets that little overset and just gets that slight lane, he just plays the hands pretty well here and then wins with a nice little arm over move to beat this guard. This guard had a rough day. Yeah. And on top of it too, like I do like his pass rush motor a lot here too. Like you'll see this one. Like, I mean, he beats the guard, center comes to help. So does the running back. He just keeps fighting. Eventually gets a little pressure there on Dart. Dart just makes a nice throw and under pressure.
So that's the first round pick throw, Dart, right there.
There you go. Trading back into the first to get him.
Nice little spin move.
Yeah, a little spin move here. And same kind of thing. Like, again, sets it up well. Oh, I didn't even realize that. They changed guards. Same thing. Stem up the field and then kind of win inside. The one thing I did want to point out is, like, you've heard me talk about this in the past about the ice pick, the little, like, outside elbow. Like, if you watch him versus, like, a guy like Jordan Phillips who had a really good one, like, just watch kind of how his elbow, like, he's not, like, violent with it. You see what I'm saying? Where, like, it's, like, flat right here. Where I think he can like do a little bit better job of clearing the hands if he's a little more violent with that elbow. Like if he's like in a UFC fight or something like that, or Meta World Peace in an NBA game. You remember that from James Harden from years ago. But anyway, like that's where I think like, cause you can see like this O-lineman still kind of has hands on him. I mean, holding, but as any D-line coach will tell you, don't ever rely on the refs to call it. Yeah, I'd like to see him kind of clear those hands and get that clean win there. Just a little thing that he can fix on or work on. But again, the athleticism is definitely there. See another move here where he kind of just uses athleticism to beat the guard across the guard's face. Like he's really good at getting these oversets. Yeah, and then getting penetration here. The one thing I will say is like when we watch like a guy like Pegues right here, like he had decent bend where he could kind of come flat. Yeah. And then maybe not get the sack, but like get the hit on the quarterback and make contact with him. Whereas like you'll see Hemingway, like he's kind of struggled to turn that corner and he's going to get run up the field a little bit. Now, at the end of the day, he flushes the quarterback out of the pocket. The quarterback makes a nice throw for a touchdown, but we'll ignore that part. But that's kind of where a B pass rush can be like an A if right about here. You can just kind of turn that corner to maybe even get the sack at this pace, or at least force the quarterback to step up into the rest of the rush versus boxing time.
The uniform tripped me out. I thought this was Stanford. I'm like, oh, you got Stanford, Phil? Like,
it was throwing me off too. Yeah, it was throwing me off because you see CIR and you think Cardinals in the color. Yeah, that one's like a D.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, you're good. This one, I mean, more than anything, this is just bad O-line play. But what I did want like about this one, like you'll see again, like line up as a 3 technique, and then just using his movement skills, his agility to get into that inside gap. And then sometimes we get the benefit of someone else screwing up and go get a quarterback hit. Decent closing speed, at least forces that overthrow. But again, a little bit more bad O-line play. This time, a little bit of the power as a rusher. Again, not the cleanest rep. Dart's still able to climb up in the pocket, and I think he gets a good gain on the scramble drill, but like what you're going to see and what I like about this is like he's trying to get that little club by move that we saw him beat 52 with earlier. It doesn't quite work this time because 52 is a little bit more unbalanced.
Yeah.
But what he does, he turns it into power. And this is what I'm talking about where like, all right, you got something to work with the strength. I just would like to see him maybe get on an edge here. Like he's going to work inside to be able to escape this block and maybe get that sack on Dart. Instead, Dart's able to at least get a first. I think he gets first down on that one.
Yeah.
Throw. But again, something to work with. This is kind of what I'm talking about. If you want to sell yourself on Tonka Hemingway, go back and watch this Ole Miss game. This was probably his best game of the year. Gonna get a stunt this time. Again, see a little bit of the power here. Like he helps flush the quarterback out of the pocket, or Dart here out of the pocket so that the looper can go get the sack. What I like about this too, like you'll see this, like Ole Miss, like protection-wise, they actually have a great play call where the center is turning right. So we have a 3-on-2 offensively, which should stop the line game because we're going to see Hemingway attack the inside shoulder of the guard, the tackle, and he's going to bring the guard with him while 6 here kind of loops around inside and ends up getting the sack. So in theory, Ole Miss should be able to pick this up easily, but because Hemingway kind of takes both blockers and splits and beats both of them to force Dart out of the pocket, and then we win the one-on-one matchup with the edge rusher in the center, we end up getting the sack here. And then this is the infamous celebration here at the end. I'm gonna watch that again. This ended up being a 15-yard penalty, if you remember from the season.
Yeah, I remember.
This next one, so it doesn't look like it at first, but he actually bats the pass here. I'll slow this down a little bit so you can see. You'll see right, nice spiral right about here. Like you see the ball start to duck here. It does end up getting to the target, but I just kind of wanted to point this out because one, nice play to get their hands up and bat the ball down. He only had 2 batted passes last year, but he had 8 the year before. So
wow.
Something he can do part of his game in PFF. Again, against the run, Marcus, like you're talking about, I definitely agree with you. He gets pushed around a little bit too much, but he does have these nice reps where, like, when he keeps his pads down, and I think his base too, like you'll see here, like this isn't even the best pad level. He's technically a little bit too high, and like this O lineman's underneath him, but we have a nice wide base. And this is what I'm talking about with his like upper body strength, where you're going to see him bench press this dude and end up getting extension on the block. So like right now he's doing his job, right? He's covering the B gap and taking that away from the running back, but he kind of goes the extra mile or gets the extra credit and then just escapes into the A gap and ends up making the tackle. Nice. When, looks like 95 here forces that cutback. Covers for the linebacker because linebacker going to the other A gap for some reason.
I don't know what the hell he's doing.
Yeah. This one even better too. This one is actually pretty damn good pad level. I'll back this up a little bit here. But he's going to take on like a combo block here with the center. But again, like, see, this time we got much better, right? Our helmet's under the offensive lineman.
Yeah.
You can see it a little bit too. We got the wide base again. And then again, the center's going to kind of come down to combo block him. But because he's done such a good job against 71 here against the guard and defeat the guard, he's able to reset the line of scrimmage and split these guys. Plus, when that linebacker blitzes and the center goes to pick him up, now we can go escape from the block and go make the tackle. So that's what I'm talking about a little bit, where like he definitely has some potential and definitely has good upper body strength that you can work with as a run defender. This next one, going to get a little bit of a benefit from the play call here. Like South Carolina is going to run a defensive tackle twist where Sanders here, I believe, is second round pick of the Bills, is going to kind of work across the center's face here, and he's going to loop around this time. But what I like about this is he does a great job of using the center's momentum against him. Like you can see the center's not on balance at all, like head over the toes. Shed the block. Now we're just sitting here waiting for the running back, especially with that penetration from Sanders to force that running back to cut back, and we end up making a tackle.
That's a smart play, more than what I mean. Yeah,
for sure. Like he baits the center a little bit too. Like I should point that out too. Like he kind of works up the field he like works up, then works around. So then that gets that center to lean versus just kind of like going straight there where this guy could pick up on it. But yeah, nice play. Also has shown like the ability to use his athleticism as a run defender here. Like we're going to get up on the goal line. Again, same kind of thing as like what we were saying with the pass rush. We're going to be shaded. Hold on 1 second, Marcus. Let me
you good.
All right. I'll start that whole thing over.
Oh, you're good.
All right. So on top of that, too, can use his athleticism here against the run to kind of make some plays. Like we're going to see a rep similar to what we saw earlier with the pass rush, where he's going to be lined up in the A gap here as like a shade nose, basically, and then going to work just across the guard's face, use the guard's momentum against him, and just kind of win in the B gap with the nice little rip move to get some penetration. Ends up making the tackle in the backfield short of the goal line. So just another part of his game that he can utilize. This last one's going to be a screen, but as we've discussed in the past, screens are just runs. Again, nice play here to beat the block, use the athleticism, and then go make a nice tackle in space. So,
what I've noticed about, especially the D-line draft picks, these guys are got serious motors, and they make plays like this where they're like, it's a play where, let's back up the screen here. It's a play where, you know, it's like a screen or something. These guys are like running away from the line and stuff like that, and then, you know, showing a lot of hustle. That's probably something they like. That's probably something they really picked up on, is that those type of things where those guys.
I feel like that's a Pete Carroll thing too. And if you think about it too, like Darian Porter did that too. Like when we did Darian Porter's breakdown, like that play that always gonna stick in my mind, where he just chases Caleb Johnson down the field like 50 yards, and Lindenberg's the same way. Kind of does the same thing. He makes a lot of hustle plays. So definitely was something I think that they were like prioritizing in the draft, like guys that have the high motors. I guess they'll figure too, on the top of that too, like they're people that they can work with, you know what I mean? Like they're people that obviously like have the work ethic and have the want to, which is often overlooked in these kind of things. But that's one way to show it on film.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what stood out to me just for all these draft picks. They're definitely like big hustle guys, especially on defense. But yeah, you know, I guess with the run game, I mean, he looks like he's balling against Ole Miss. So, I mean, that was
again, Ole Miss, like what you said is 100% right. But if you watch Ole Miss, granted, Ole Miss didn't have a great offensive line. That's part of the reason why they weren't in the playoff.
Yeah.
You know, he was dominating. So again, if you want to sell yourself on Tonka Hemingway and his potential, go back, watch that Ole Miss game. I think it was like week 6, something like that, beginning of the SEC schedule. So he had a pretty good game and took advantage of those guys too. So Ole Miss and the LSU game kind of stood out to me. I know he didn't grade high in PFF, but I think that was like that one. LSU would probably be a good one to really get a sense of who he is as a player, because you'll see him like win a couple reps that are really impressive, and then you'll also see him lose that are like really kind of like alarming. So Ole Miss, if you want to sell yourself, if you want to get a real feel or a legitimate feel of like who he is, go watch the LSU game, because again, you'll see the flashes and you'll see the plays that aren't on the highlight that I'm not going to show on this one when we're trying to hype them up a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, yeah, because that's the thing. That thing is like, you know, I watched the LSU game. It's like there was times where he made some plays in the run game, but there's sometimes he's getting pushed like 2 or 3 yards back, and I think that's just, you know, him just being a smaller player inside is going to be a little bit of a factor. But the pass rush is there. But, you know, it is interesting. One thing you did point out is like how important like even bend is inside, because you know, like even having some bend there, because you got to bend to win there. You know, it's just not something that is for edge rushers, and that's why, like, you know, Puig's, Pegues, when he has more bend, so he's able to finish a little bit more than Hemingway does. So it's just something that's interesting when you watch that.
Yeah.
Because I mean, there's times where, you know, Hemingway was won, but he just couldn't get there. Right.
Yeah. So, especially if you're not like getting like clean wins, like when he won cleanly, like on those few that he like was able to use his quickness to win across their face and get those oversets. Yeah, it doesn't matter. But when you're not winning like quite as clean, which happens a lot in the NFL, you do kind of want to have those flexible ankles, flexible lower half, so that you can turn those tight corners and be able to get sacks and stuff like that.
Yeah, for sure. All right, guys. Well, that's the episode with Cam Miller and Tonka Hemingway. I think is that all the draft picks, ain't it? I mean, I
think we're missing Malott, right? That's the last one we have.
Yeah, that's talking Malott, but I don't know how. I'm trying to figure out how the hell am I gonna do that. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I was gonna like for the site, I was just gonna look at his run plays or whatever and show his movement skills, but that's about it. Yeah, that's a tough one to do, seeing as he's playing a brand new position already.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll figure that out. Whatever we'll do with that. But I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Go check out the other draft picks as well, that we already did a breakdown on those. And then, you know, we did Darian Porter and Ashton Genty earlier. I got Ashton Genty up in the membership versus Penn State, and then also, we'll deep dive into some more Ashton Genty too as well. So just be ready for that, guys. But I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Hit the subscribe button, subscribe, and we're out of here. Peace.
Peace.